Hey, it's Bob again. Humbled is the word. 6th of November, 2017. I just looked at a news flash that came across the newsreel and on my screen here. And isn't that funny? Years ago, people went to the movie theater. I'm going to go to a movie theater with the furniture. And they would see the newsreels of the events that were occurring in World War I or World War II. And help me, Lord. And yet today we see the newsreel just rolling along our screen as we're just driving along. Our phones will pop up with the latest news, the latest adventures and things. And so this story came up about the shooter in Texas at the church. And what it says is to me, obviously I'm biased. Today's word's humbled. I gotta tell you, I'm biased. I am biased. You got me. You got me. You got me. I have to admit, I'm an extrovert. I like people. I like being with people. People are my thing. I got my people, my peeps. You know, I like people. I love being people. And I always have. I really always have. When I was a kid, I didn't sit at home and just sit in my room playing Parcheesi or Pinochle or Spin the Bottle or, you know, I'm a loser. I win. You know, ends up pointing at you. You know, so the thing is that I like people. It is my bias. And yet, at the same time, the Bible says, do not forsake the fellowship of yourselves together with one another in the church. You know, stay in church, stay in fellowship, stay in the family. Don't isolate yourself. Don't be a loner. Don't be a lone ranger. I mean, it was funny, you know, the Lone Ranger. That's a time Bonanza and the Lone Ranger. And, you know, whatever the Lone Ranger's theme was. But at least he had Tonto, you know, he had Tonto with him. And then they were always interacting with other people. So he really wasn't the Lone Ranger. You know, he had people with him. He was not totally a freak. Now, it stunned me just now reading the story. We're going about 5 miles an hour here, so I was able to glance up and quickly scan the deal. And the word that came out was his high school buddies described him as heavily medicated, a loner, someone that did not socialize, someone who stayed by himself most of the time. Well, you know, what is the purpose of fellowship? What is the purpose of being with other people? If you're with other people, it should be an encouragement. If you're with other people, it should be a blessing. If you're with other people, it should be a mark of family, a mark of correction. Yeah, I know that when I'm with my family, I am corrected. When I'm with my family, I am straightened out. My family does not blink an eye. They do not blink an eye. They don't blink any eyes. They come right out and they snap my head off. I'm like a little spring chicken there, you know. They can't wait to snap my little snout and clip my little wings and shut me down and shut me up and kick me. They don't know. My family doesn't mind one bit picking on Bob. I'm the scapegoat. I always get in trouble. I mean, you know, something can happen in Wisconsin. Bob, what'd you do? If you would have been there, they wouldn't have done that. You know, I go to Wisconsin. Bob, why'd you leave for Wisconsin? We need you here. Whatever I do or say or am, I'm going to be in trouble. I'm enjoying. Nothing up there. Remember that song? Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes, Almond Joy has nuts. The other one don't. So I want to encourage you. If you know someone in your life that's alone, Pastor Matthew Barnett has talked about this, how even elementary school kids are taught that, and some schools have a whole program. Some have a whole program where they are taught to be on the lookout for lonely students who are, without eggnog. Gotta have your eggnog. It's the season. And then this young people search those kids out that are alone, and they befriend them. I've said this numerous times. The Nazi atrocities of World War II, where they took babies, little innocent babies who didn't know any better, didn't have any, and they isolated them. They isolated them from all human contact. Yeah, they were given water, they were hosed down, they were kept warm, they were given all the essentials of life. The essentials of life. But they weren't given the contact, the love, the breastfeeding,